I know that everybody wants to date, Everybody, when you talk about relationship, everybody wants to date, everybody wants to have boyfriend, girlfriend, and or whatnot. All right. So acing the first date. So now this is with an assumption that this is going to be your first date, with that particular person. So even if you've been on several dates before, we are assuming that with this particular person that we're talking about, this is your first date. So it's in the first date, etiquette for Christian singles, the do's and the don'ts.
Okay. Um, Coach M loves doing this too much. I already told him that I was going to share most of this, but it's setting me up again. Okay, so let's briefly talk about what dating is. What exactly is dating?
So maybe before she continues, let me just read out the outline. I believe we're all seeing the outline over there. These are the simple outlines.
Yep, we can.
Then under you can, yeah, okay. I don't know if I'm having network issues because, oh, sorry. So dating for us Christians. So now under introduction, before I hand over to my wife, dating for us Christians is a purposeful and intentional process that aligns with our faith and values. This is very important for everybody to note. So when we're talking about dating here, we're talking about dating in the Christian faith, because we cannot talk about this dating using the world's template. No. So for us, it's purposeful and intentional process that aligns with our faith and values. It's not just about casual fun or exploration, but it's a way to find a life partner with whom we can build a Christ-centered relationship. Now you will notice that this is Christ-centered relationship. So this is not the kind of relationship that I see a girl now, we go out, and after that we say, okay, who's coming to whose house? Are you coming to my house, or I'm going to your house? We're spending the night, and all that. No. Christ is the center. Now, although dating is not a scriptural concept, it has, however, become fully rooted in as a social norm. You will notice that in the Bible, let's give examples of even God. When God created Adam, and saw that it was not good for him to be alone, he created Eve for him, and introduced Eve to him. If Adam had said, "This is not my wife," that would have been the end, But he recognized and he saw that, okay, this is my wife. So you see that there was no particular dating experience, before that time. If you look at Adam too, Abraham, when he was telling his servant, when he's saddling a servant with that responsibility of going to look for a wife for his son, he just said, okay, go to my father's house, like go to my kindred. He gave him where to go, because God had already given him a command at the time that don't marry from these aliens, yes, people that are not my people, don't marry from them. And that's already giving us an example, like that's a clear instructions and a clear instruction to us as believers that you cannot marry an unbeliever. So that's a clear prototype from there. So at this point, I'll hand over to my wife to continue. All right.
Okay. So what exactly is this dating thing all about? Just as we've said that it's a thing that we in this world and generation just started doing. So dating is just a setting, is setting a date. It's as simple as that. Like, okay, let's meet somewhere and let's maybe talk or whatever thing it is. It's as simple as let's set a date. And dating is important, right? For giving young men and women the opportunity to get to know one another. It's quite unfortunate that young people have bastardized this word date. They've turned it to something that even parents dread because of what they can see. Dating in that word is as genuine as the word gay, right? The word gay means happy, free, free spirited. But right now we know that the meaning of that gay is not that anymore. If you say, I'm gay, the first thing that comes to your mind is the
Homosexuality.
LE, exactly. not the fact that I'm happy, I'm elated, I'm any of those things. So the word dating actually has been, you know, tweaked in a way that it's not pleasing unto God. So even the Bible says in First Corinthians 10:31 that whatever thing you do, just give glory to God. So this date we are talking about needs to give glory to God. So what are the principles of this dating? Principles of dating readiness.
So now, under these principles of dating readiness, what this is saying is, before you can say that you are ready to date, what are the things that you must do, or what position of heart must you have, before you can say somebody is ready to date? So if I see a random person now and I want to know if this person is actually ready to get on the dating scene, there are some parameters that I must see that will let me know that of a truth, this person is ready to date and not be massacred on the dating table. You understand what I mean? Because I've seen a lot of things. In fact, this week alone, I've had some clients that the kind of things I heard with this my ears, they just baffled me. Now, number one is benefits and dangers. You are ready to date only when you are fully aware of both the benefits and the dangers of dating. I hope you know that there are dangers of dating as well as benefits. So I'll give you an example. One of the dangers of dating is your emotions is going to be involved at some point. And that will mean that there's probability that you will begin to think with your body more than your brain. That means that there's possibility, there's a very high chance that you will begin to act based on your emotions over your brain, which is not supposed to be. So first of all, let's know if you know the benefits and the dangers of dating. What are some of the benefits? Okay, you say, oh, okay, I have somebody to call, somebody to talk with and all that. So we know that those are some of the benefits. So number one principle, you are only ready to date when you're fully aware of both the benefits and the dangers of dating. Number two, God's word. You are ready to date only when you have worked out beforehand a clear set of guidelines for behavior based on God's word. Now, this is what that means. One of the things I noticed from the people I counseled this week was that a lot of them just enter dating for dating's sake. They just want to have a boyfriend, they just want to have a girlfriend. So at the end of the day, because that was their aim, they had not beforehand set guidelines. For some of them, when I was talking about the fact that sex was not supposed to be involved in their relationship, for instance, some of them, they later realized that. But because it was not on the front burner before they entered the relationship, they had already given in, before they started hearing this, So there are things that the Bible has said, don't do this, do this, do this, do this. We all know, because we're all believers, that fornication before marriage is wrong. We all know that, And another thing is that I tell people that apart from the fact that God said so, it's also a disservice to you yourself. Because let's assume, for instance, that you are a lady and you had already started giving the guy sex. You have removed the motivation for marriage for that guy. You started cooking for him, started bathing for him, you have started cleaning his house, you have started, servicing him. You've done everything. This guy does not have any motivation to get married to you again, So number three, no compromise. You are ready to date only when you have resolved in your spirit that you will not lower or compromise those standards for any reason, even if it means losing dates. Some people, they believe that once this guy, if I sense that this guy is going to say no, I'm going to give in no. But that's going to be a disadvantage to you, because at the end of the day, you actually realize that if you stood your ground, that person will have chased after you the more. So that's another thing, another principle that you must take note of. Next one is not a need. You are ready to date only when you don't need to. Now, what that means is this. For instance, let me use myself as an example. At some point, I got to that point where I'd given up, no, I won't say I gave up. I decided that, you see, this relationship thing, I'm not even interested again. Like, I started facing my work, facing my career, facing the things I was doing, facing ministry and all that. And along the line, because I didn't need it, God saw that I was in a place where my mind was focused on the right things. God now brought relationship my way. Do you understand? So you are ready to date only when you don't need to date. So not that, oh, I need somebody to do this.
You don't feel the need for somebody to
To validate you.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't need to feel like something is missing in your life.
Exactly.
You don't need to feel that you can't be happy without this. Many people get into relationship, they go on dates because they want to have that feeling of me too now. Somebody is,
somebody is paying my bills, somebody is calling me, somebody is cuddling me.
So until you get to the level where you are satisfied with your life, satisfied with the things God is doing in your life, you are chasing after your life's purpose, your life's dreams, and you are fulfilling purpose on yourself. It's the time you know that, okay, I think we can settle down now. It's not the time where you want to by fire by force chase it, by fire by force want to try to make it work or anything.
So then the last principle is being alone. You are ready to date only when you have first learned how to be alone but not lonely. There's difference between being alone and lonely. Now let's use Adam as example. Adam was alone in the garden with those animals, but Adam was not lonely because Adam was busy. You understand? So lonely means that you are just thinking that how I wish. In fact, to the extent that it took God's intervention to actually tell Adam that it is not good for this guy to be alone. Adam felt that he was good like that, but God had to step in and say, no, let me provide somebody, a helpmate to this guy. So you are ready only when you first learned how to be alone but not lonely. So that means that spiritually, emotionally, physically, materially, spiritually, you are sound. Physically, you are sound, Then being complete, that means being complete in all ramifications without dependence on anyone else. Very, very important. Very, very important. Now, let's go to the importance of dating in the process of choosing a life partner. Number one, establishing a Christ-centered relationship. I said it at that introduction, that one of the importance of dating in the process of choosing a life partner as a believer. So my focus is to believers because I believe that I'm talking to believers here. Just like I was telling one of those people I counseled during this week, I said, as an unbeliever, I may not be able to really help you because if I say some things, you may not be able to agree. You understand? But when I come as a believer, I'll still give you all those rules that everybody should know. But there are some extra things that will make your relationship work as a believer that I need to tell you. And if you're an unbeliever, you will not be able to take it. Do you get? So, number one, establishing a Christ-centered relationship. Number two, discernment and compatibility in faith. That's one of the things that season, that period of dating does for you. Discernment helps you discern, and to know if you are compatible in faith with this person. It's not just to go and be eating shawarma and just be, just be gallivanting or go from this store to that store. You're not even discussing. No, that's wrong. The next one, upholding biblical values and purity. Very important. Building a foundation of communication and prayer. Testing and growing in patience and love. Dating will test your patience and it will test your love. Because at some point, the other person will say, we've not talked for a while. That kind of thing. So those are some of the things he's going to test. Gaining wisdom and godly counsel, encouraging mutual growth and accountability, building trust and emotional intimacy, preparing for a covenant relationship, and evaluating character and shared life goals. I don't want to go too in-depth into the explanation of these things. As we go on into other slides, we would explain some of these things. So these are the importance of dating in the process of choosing a life partner. Now, how do I determine who to go on a date with? So I know a lot of people, this is a question on their mind. How do I know? Okay, so there are 3 guys asking me out or 3 guys that are showing some form of interest. How do I know who to go on a date with? Number one, I believe that before you agree to go on a date with somebody, you should have seen some traits. You don't just meet somebody today and the person says, let's go on a date, and you go on a date. You're carrying your show and you're going. Come on. Exactly. So I don't expect that somebody should just ask you out now or just tell you that, oh, can we be friends now? And already going on the date.
The thing is that as God's children, our time is very, very essential. So we can't afford to do things the way the world is doing
Yeah.
it. Yes, I know that there are some people that will meet to them like, can I take you on a date? And then tomorrow they are going on the date. Yes, in the general sense, there might be nothing really wrong with it. But do you really want to waste your time, going out with everybody in the bid to, find the person? When you can actually streamline your outings, you can streamline your effort, you can streamline all of those things. It's only if you don't have anything to do with life. But God has invested so much in us as children of God that our time counts. And if you are going out on a date with somebody, it needs to be on the conviction that, okay, this person is even worth my time, is worth my attention. It's not just any Tom, Dick, and Harry that just wants to, take you out. No, that is not the essence for us Christians, for us children of God. So before you can even agree to go on a date with somebody, you should be able to know that person to a certain extent, that okay, this person, I think we resonate on even this faith level. Let's go out and probably have some time together. And you know that there is a way that practical explanation of your faith is that it's going to be different from what I'm telling you. If I'm telling you that I'm a person of patience, I'm very patient, or God is helping me. Okay, let's go out on a date. In the process of going out, and then somebody does something to this guy or to this lady, and this person responds in another way different from what this person has been telling you, probably on call or whatever thing it is, you know that okay, theory is not the same thing as practical, right? So it's very, very important to make sure that the person you are going out on a date with shares Christian beliefs and is committed to following Christ. This commitment to following Christ would help you that whatever thing you are doing while dating is what will help you, in marriage.
Of course.
Very, very important. So if you know that this person's commitment to following Christ is not the level you want it when you get married, I think you should weigh your options.
So the next one, which is character and values. You have to consider the person's character and values. You don't just meet a guy now and you already see some traits in him and he asks you on a date and you already allow him. No, you should see some sense of. I don't mean that you should know everything about him. No, that's not what I mean. But at least from even appearance, you should be able to connote some things. The Bible tells us that by their fruits we shall know them. So if somebody is a true believer, there are some fruits that believers have. Somebody has good characters and values, there are some kind of fruits that they show. You should be able to know. If you are telling me that you don't know, that means that you yourself, your belief or your faith is it should be questioned. You understand? Exactly. So then another one is spiritual compatibility, and that's from observations too. Prayer and guidance. So that means that you can pray, you should pray about it. I remember the last IG live that we had before the one we had yesterday, last month. Mrs. Shoname said something. She said that people should pray. She was talking about the power of prayer for singles. The fact that even as somebody is, as there are plenty people in front of you, you can tell God already that, God, which of these people? Like, God, talk to me. Even as somebody is approaching you, tell God, this person is approaching me. What do you think? So, and the Holy Spirit is our help. Now, another thing is accountability and counsel. Have people around you that can counsel you, your parents, good friends that have good intention. No, not those ones that would be what's that word I want to use now? Not those ones that will be backbiting or have wrong intentions or are jealous. Not those kind. Then alignment of life goals, observe their actions, emotional maturity, respect for boundaries.
You see, this alignment of goals too is very important. If you don't know yourself, you don't know where you are going in life, the probability that you are going to get on the train with the wrong person is very high. So you yourself, what are your life goals? When you're able to know what your life goals are, it's going to be easy for you to know that this guy is a good guy, but his goals in life cannot fit into where I'm going. So you're streamlining already your dating options, not because you don't like this person. If you want to go out for friendship hangout or something, that's quite different. But for dating, because dating is like a vehicle towards marriage.
Yeah.
It's not just anything that people say. Just like I already said in the beginning, it's not just the random thing. We are dating purposefully. We are dating towards choosing the right person that would be with till Jesus comes.
Yeah.
So if that is the aim, you need to align your life goals. So some people can be good, very good materials, husband material or wife materials. But if they don't align with your life goals, you guys will be at loggerheads. Somebody that wants to venture into ministry or wants his wife to support in ministry, full-time ministry, mommy geotype, and a lady that wants to advance in her career, wants to climb that ladder, they cannot work together if they are not helped by God. Let me not say that they cannot work together totally, right? So know what your life goals are. It would help you a lot. And some things that usually break some marriage is the fact that people don't they don't recognize what God has called them to do early in life. They get married, and in the process, when they are into the marriage, maybe 5 years, 10 years, they now finally find out that this is where God is calling me into as a man, this is where God is calling me into as a woman, and there is a clash. I did not marry this person when I was marrying. No. Now you cannot now say that I want to be traveling all over the world. I want somebody that will be cooking for me 24/7. Yes, the man might be right in that sense, because he saw you as somebody that should be available in the house. But now you want to switch up on him, saying you want to chase a dream and make myself and my children suffer. No, I'm not going to let this. And then sometimes it looks like the partner is trying to cover up your glory. It's trying to prevent you from achieving what God has called you to achieve. So now is the time to
choose right.
Yes, choose right and develop and discover yourself. Discovering yourself will help you shed so much weight, even apart from choosing life partner, your friends, the association, everything. It will help you. So please, this part is very, very important for me.
Yeah. So that's I hope we have all taken note of that. Very, very important. Observe their actions. Emotional maturity. Is this person emotionally mature? So that you don't waste your time. There's no point going on a date with somebody that you see questionable characters or you see questionable traits. There's no point, because you remember that we said that dating is with an intention. You have something in mind. Exactly. Then
So for people who don't really understand what emotional maturity is,
yeah.
it's like the ability for people to communicate openly, the way people are willing to walk through conflicts, the way people are open to take corrections. There are some people that you cannot talk to them, you cannot correct them.
Yeah.
Like, no, I can never be wrong, or why you telling me that way, or some people don't know how to communicate. And communication is bedrock for every relationship. There are some people that they are very low on communication. So that is what we mean by emotional maturity, because you need to have capacity for these things, because marriage will stretch you. It will stretch your patience, it will stretch your emotions, it will stretch everything. And if you are not at that capacity to express how you feel without using hurtful words, if you've not learned how to express how you feel without degrading the other person, if you've not learned how to take corrections without you being hurt, or without you feeling whatever negative feeling it is, then you're not yet ready.
Yeah, on point. Respect for boundaries is another thing. Not that somebody is asking you on a date and already the person is already touching you, anyhow, or is having this on what's the word I want to use now? There's no suitable emotional intelligence, or the person, okay, there was something we were saying yesterday. So we give an example of guys that, when they are together, say something like, guy, you be fool. You know, that kind of thing. So now, let's assume this is respectful of boundaries. Now, let me give you an example of that. So let's say this guy is asking you on a date, and then already you can hear him sometimes say something like, yes, say something like that, or even says it to you that, babe, why they behave like this? You know, somebody that you not you will get sense. You know,
and he thinks that it's all vibe, it's all
yes,
cruise. No, it's not.
because to you, you think it otherwise. You know, so that means that there's already a friction there. But if you two are that kind of person that you understand that, oh, guy, you be a stupid guy, and you are just joking, no, the stupid is just joking.
God,
If if you are that kind of person, then you can go ahead. But God help you, just as my wife has said, God help you. But we know that in Christianity, that should not even be your language.
Because
it
our
should
words
not.
are
Yes,
very, very powerful.
yes. Just like the Bible tells us, it said, let your words be seasoned with salt.
Yes.
Very important. And that's not a salty word that we just said. So, peace and confirmation is another one. If your spirit tells you to go ahead with that date, then go ahead with it. Next slide. Do I have to be in a relationship with someone before going on a date with him or her?
Absolutely no.
Yeah.
It's not necessary to be in a relationship with somebody before going on a date with the person as a Christian.
Yeah.
Just as we said that dating is you trying to
get to know somebody. Yes.
You know, solidify what you
Yes.
guys have been hearing on calls.
Exactly.
You know, okay, let me have a glimpse of who you are personally, and let me determine if I want to even be in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
Because relationship is not a trial and error something.
Yeah.
Yes, we know that broken relationship is better than a broken marriage, yeah, but yeah, we're not entering the relationship to
with the
test.
mindset, yeah.
It's not testing microphone. Yes, so it's not necessary, you know. So
okay. Then the next one says dating is a way to get to know someone, you know, and see if you share beliefs, values, compatibility that lead to a deeper relationship. So that's what that dating phase is. So that means that and one of the mantra that we follow, you know, is before you even talk of dating, you guys should be friends. So we believe and expect, you know, that you guys have already even been friends. You know, that friends could just be casual friends, could just be, you know, oh, we see in church every Sunday and we just say hi to ourselves, or we just see at work and say, hey, how you doing? You know, all that kind of thing. You know, so there's a kind of friendship in a way before you even enter into dating to know the person proper, because it's during that friendship too that you will have seen those traits that we mentioned in the previous slide, you know, that will make you now know if you should go ahead with the date or not. Then as a Christian, you don't have to be in a formal relationship before going on a date, but it's important to approach dating intentionally, prayerfully, and with a clear boundary that honor your faith and values. Very important. Very important. Now, this part is very interesting, which I know that a lot of people have been waiting for. Practical tips and hacks that singles, males and females should know about when going on dates. I'll hand over to my wife, but let me take number one. Dress modestly and comfortably. Be authentic. Be yourself. Be yourself. Dress in what you are comfortable in. You know, don't say because you're going on a date now, you now go and buy, you know, you go and buy the kind of clothes that you don't wear normally, or you understand what I'm saying. So be authentic, be yourself. However, as you are being yourself, be smart and be modest. You remember the Bible verse we read at the beginning, First Corinthians, I think 10:12, that was talking about doing everything to please God, to give glory to God. So whatever dressing you're dressing, don't dress provocatively. You know, it's very important. Your hair, your nails, your lashes, your dressing, the kind of gown you're wearing, the kind of footwear you're wearing, you know, it could be. And another thing that can determine the kind of dress you're wearing too is where dating is going to happen, the location of the dating. So if it's going to be at the beach, you know, maybe if it's going to be at a beach, you know the kind of things you can wear. If it's going to be at a restaurant, you know what the kind of thing you can wear. If it's going to be at a park, you know the kind of thing you can wear. If it's going to be in a church program, maybe there's a church event for singles, you know, and you put your date there, you know the kind of thing you should wear. So modesty and comfort.
Okay, so I think we met this on the call when we joined. Who foots the bill? Okay, traditionally, it's common for men to foot the bill, but really there is nothing bad in splitting the bills or, alternating who pays the bills, especially if both parties are comfortable with it. But the main thing is open communication beforehand. It would clear every expectation and avoid any awkward moments. So I think the first time I and my husband went on a date, I carried my own money along.
Exactly. Which is where this point that is in bracket is always go prepared.
Yes.
Just in case of anything.
I carried my money along. So that's why it's good to be prepared all round for a date.
Exactly.
Even financially.
Yeah.
So that anything out to happen, please. I cannot wash plates, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So just be prepared and be polite. Sometimes I think after the first date, sometimes I'll be like, okay, should I pay for this? Be like, oh no, don't worry, I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
I have the money, so we can pay. But be like, okay, don't worry. So it depends really. But we shouldn't come into this setting with what's that word? Entitlement. Yes, that's the word, entitlement. She's the one that said we should come on the date to pay for the thing. No, I know that there is the part of it, maybe he asked for it or she asked for it, but in as much, just be prepared and be cautious and respectful, and if the person that invites you to the date is forming, I forgot my purse at home, I forgot my wallet at home,
you've gotten your answer.
It's not a problem.
It's not a problem. You've gotten your answer from there.
Exactly. And when you are also at the date, don't probably order too much or something, hoping that is this person I would maybe pay. I've seen a wolf. No, please don't let us. Let's be. I don't want to use that word, but let's be demure. Let's be courtesy. Something like that. I'm sure you get my point. In which ways. So opt for neutral places also when you are going on a date. Please don't go on a date in shady places or high pressure location. You are a man and a woman, and normally emotions can crop in. Emotions can want to take the lead. So please go to a neutral place, go to public places that that, come on, we are open. So there is nothing like anybody trying to corner or trying to make you do what you don't want to do or something. So please, let's be really 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 aware of this, and in advance set boundaries. Discuss what you want and what you cannot take, so that it's not going to be at the venue that you would be giving some people corner eye or something. Let them know that this is my kind of person, and these are the things that I can take, and these are the things that I cannot take. These are the deal breakers for me, and anything outside this, it's a no for me already. So discuss these things prior, before the date, and when you are at the date, make sure you stay true to your word. Stay true to your word. Yes, I know that some pressure and some maybe emotions. Stay true to your word. It gives this feeling and this perception that I can't even quantify with words. Another thing that we'll be discussing is focus on meaningful conversations. So date is not, have you eaten, have you sleep, have you wake up, have you no. Meaningful conversations, open-ended conversations that you ask a question and you are asking this question for this person to give you a detailed, meaningful answer. So feel free to share as much as you want to hear also. Ask questions. Don't be shy to ask some questions that you feel will be needed. So quality conversations are very, very important on a date. And also keep your focus on knowing each other. It's very important.
Yes, let that be the focus of the meeting. So don't let it be you're now talking about some irrelevant things. The important thing is get to know each other. So questions that are tailored towards getting to know each other. We're still going to that, the kind of questions to ask. We're still going to that. But we just thought you should say it here. Then pray before and after the date. Now, we don't mean that you should pray there at the place of the meeting. That's not what we're saying. Pray at home before you go for your date, and after you go for your date, hand over everything into the hands of God. That God, whatever decisions I'm making as regards this date, Lord, let it be the right decisions, and the Holy Spirit will help you. Then be yourself and relax. Avoid pretending to be somebody you're not. Oh, I just got back from the States.
Don't give intonations or
Exactly.
accent that you do not
No, they give
have.
answers when you
Please.
don't get.
Just be normal, be yourself,
Exactly.
and the person that would like you for who you are would like you for who you are. Period.
That's it. Then the next one, types of dates. Group dates or with other friends, or just the two of us. Now, there are different types of dates. There's coffee dates or tea dates, that we just go to a restaurant, order coffee, and we just drink, and that's all. Then there are outdoor activities, the game night. Now, that game night should be well timed. Not game night that will be entering 12 o'clock. That you now be giving the option of, will you stay in my place? No, not that kind of game night. So game night that we end like 8 max, you understand? Everybody go to their house, order Uber, go. Or if you're driving, the person can drop you or whatever, Then cooking and baking date, cooking or baking date. That one, I would advise that should be maybe among friends. When your friends are around or family members are around, not only the two of you. After you people now cook finish, now enter the house. One thing now, no, not that. So cooking or baking day. Then attend a worship service or Christian event. Maybe Dunsi is doing one program somewhere, doing outpouring. Two of you can make your dates be there. Or TCN is doing something. There's a conference. I think there's a conference in September. Yes. So something like that. You could give that as a date center. After the program, people can have a chat. Sit down somewhere and all that. So then museum or art gallery. But make sure that whatever date you're having, especially for the first date, that is not somewhere that is too expensive. Somewhere that will not make you spend too much money, please, is important, so that you don't spend too much money. Then the dates go out there be between the two of you or with friends. Very important. Either between the two of you or with friends. Now, the one with friends, okay, so let's give a scenario that maybe you went to the beach and you went as a group. Somewhere during that beach, the two of you can be somewhere, just having a discussion. So that's what we mean. So, but be in center places where people can see you. Don't go and
you see that place where people can
room.
see you. Yeah?
Very
Please,
important.
Very, very important.
Because you see, this emotion of the thing is don't forget we are love and emotions of, so we understand emotions. So yeah. So next one, quality of questions to ask, conversations to ask on a date. Now, faith and belief. Ask the person about the person's faith and belief. You people should discuss about faith and belief. In fact, you could even ask, what's your favorite Bible? Okay, that's somewhere here. We'll get to that. Then life goals and ambition. What do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself going? Yeah, she has spoken about that before. Where are you going? Where do you see yourself going? What's the future like for you? Do you want to travel out or you want to stay in Nigeria? You see now, that's part of life goals and ambitions. Somebody is thinking that he wants to Japan and the other one is thinking he wants to stay in Nigeria, so that there's no confusion. Then family and upbringing. Just have an idea of where the person is coming from. That will really help you. Then hobbies and interests. What are the things you like? What are the things you do during your leisure time? Then relationship with God. What's your relationship with God like? How frequently, do you love God? Things like that. Just questions that will really help to know the kind of person that person is. What church do you attend? Things like that. Then favorite Bible verse or story. That one will take you somewhere.
What church do you attend?
Yes.
You see that part is very, very important too. Because in as much as we are one in the body of Christ,
but you are different too.
There are doctrines. There are doctrines that can tear some people apart.
Yes.
If care is not taken. Yes. So don't just say that we are Christian, we believe in the Bible. Yes, I know we are Christians, we believe in the Bible, but not the kind of doctrine that will work for you.
Exactly.
I'm putting on earring, I'm putting on makeup, and one guy is coming and the guy is already telling you that my own wife she's not going to put on makeup. Please, and something.
In fact, babe, let me talk about that particular one. You see, it's usually very sad, when you see a guy, you are coming from a church that they don't put on earring, they don't wear trouser. You now show interest in a girl that you see that she's wearing trousers, she's wearing earrings, she's doing all those things, eyelashes and all that. And then you are now already telling the ladies, that when we get married, you'll not be doing all these things. Why don't you go for somebody from your own denomination that will not give you stress? Why
unnecessary.
Why? Somebody saying something. Okay, so so then handling challenges. How do you handle challenges when they come? Can you give me an instance? It just shows you how emotionally mature and how mentally mature that person is. Then friendship and community, have an idea of the kind of friends the person has and the person's community, that give strength. Then questions not to ask on a date. Don't ask about past relationship and exes. It's a first date. It's too early to be asking that kind of question. It's too early.
How many abortions have you had? Come on now.
How many abortions have
Come
I
on.
mean,
Yes, we know that there'll be a point in your relationship where you
where
need to
you
be,
say those things.
Just and when you're talking
But let the
about your
person
past,
earn it.
yes, past experiences,
Yeah.
even though it's not you painting a vivid picture
Yes.
of how the whole thing. No. But
Eh.
even these first dates, please reserve
I
that
was
for
I
later
was
in
wearing
life.
a red gown on that day.
They painted the
They
room
painted the
green
room
and
green.
purple. And no, we don't need all of those information, please. You can just say some things like,
Yes.
okay, I've made some choices that I've not been pleased
Proud
about,
of,
but I know that
yes.
God has forgiven me and I'm
Exactly.
doing better. I've received grace and all of those things.
Yes.
Some things happened to me that just like that.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay like that.
At least for a first date. Then as dates progress, you people are now, you get to know each other better. You have now agreed that okay, we're taking this thing to the next level. You can now get into more details. Then money and finances. Don't talk about money and
Don't
finances.
be asking
then.
how much are you?
How much are you making?
Are you earning? I
Eh,
want to know if you
I
can
mean-
afford me.
I mean, oh my God, why now? When you're not say Boj, that will say that on your first day of Kinikon, bill him, then and let me make reference to that. Please, as believers, don't let us make social media our Bible. Please, I beg you. Even if you're going to take things from social media, let it be from sources that are verified.
Yeah.
I mean sources that please God, sources that that are there for your safety. Not the ones that will be telling you that after the first date where you meet am, bill am. You say they now be asking questions like, oh, how much must the guy be making before you say no, he must making millions. You now ask the girl, how much are you making? You say you're making 50K per month. I mean, this mentality. The unfortunate thing is that you would think that people are not gullible, but you'll be surprised how many people are actually gullible and falling into all these traps. Then overly personal spiritual questions. Don't ask too deep ones. Then marriage and kids too soon. No. Oh, how many kids do you want to have? Do you want to marry now, or those kind of things? Although you can ask questions like how soon do you see yourself settling down? Just to have an idea. But not too intimate. Questions. Then political hot topics. Oh, Tinubu or Obi or Atiku. All those kind of things that these are things that can flare the person up. Don't do that. Then negative probing. Questions like, what's your biggest flaw, or what's something you regret? Can you make the date? Don't those things, they will make it look at like an interview.
Yeah.
So ask more natural questions that will make the person feel relaxed. Things like
much
that.
more like just knowing each other and friendly.
Knowing each other,
something,
exactly.
Not like hot
Yes,
seats
yeah.
kind of.
Then there was a point there that we said that the date should not be for too long.
Yes.
At least within 1-2 hours, you people should be done with your first date, so that emotions will not now start coming. As you are looking at the girl, you'll be like,
You're so
almost see her now,
beautiful.
see your
My
lips.
God.
Let me share something with you guys. So one of the clients that I counseled this week, she was telling me that on her first date, the guy was actually asking her that, what's the size of your bikini?
Okay.
On a first date, you people drop in the comment section. How do you feel with that question? Drop in the comment section. This question that I just asked you now, that I said that one of my clients said that the guy asked her on the first date. What do you see about it? You people should tell me.
I think that's fair. You should first of all tell me what bikini, because
I'm telling you, what's the size of your bikini? Hey, my God, God help us. God help us. So you guys need to be careful out there, honestly. You guys need to be careful. And these things should already give you people a hint as to what this person really wants.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
That for somebody to be asking that kind of question on the first date, that should give you an inkling that this guy, this is what this guy is targeting.
You can't tell me that
He's
kind
a
of
believer.
guy would go with sexual
pure heart.
purity
Exactly.
in relationship. Forget it.
No, you already see. But it's so sad that a lot of ladies, seem to be so naive. Some things that you expect that they know, you'll be so disappointed that some of them don't know it. So please don't assume that you know anything. If you need counsel, please reach out to your counselors. You understand? Let them help you. And if you need help from us, we can help you too. I beg. God bless you all in Jesus' name. Conclusion: the goal of a date is to connect, have fun, and see if you are compatible while keeping Christ at the center. Please don't forget that you guys are believers. So Christ should be the center of whatever you're doing. We're not saying that you should not be attracted physically. That's not what we're saying. But we're saying that, see, in the order of things, in the scheme of things, spiritual, emotion, and physical. That's the order. So spiritual first, emotional next, then physical last. So asking thoughtful questions, choosing enjoyable activities, and avoiding overly invasive topics will help you both feel comfortable and respected. Very important. God bless you guys. So who we are, my professionally trained certified relationship counselor coaches and lead coaches at Love and Emotions Hub, the coaching and counseling hub, dedicated to improving relationship and marriages. You can reach out to us at any time. You can follow us on all our social media handles at Love and Emotions Hub on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and then TikTok. So
I would just like to commend the people on this call. You guys are very, very active. You guys are
yes.
I can see your comment section and it's sending me.
I couldn't see the comment section because she was the one handling that, So God bless you guys. We love you. So if any of you needs this book, Attracting and Retaining the Right Man Made Easy, just send us a message on Instagram, on our DM on Instagram, or send us a mail at loveandemotionshub@gmail.com. Thank you for your attention. God bless you. Over to you, sir.
Wow. As in, I'm just wowing like a siren right here. Like me and my chairman were just like, wow. This was so much value for our time. So good. Please can we see the emojis? The emojis have been rolling in, comments have been rolling in. This is so good. So much value. You really went deep. You really interpreted the vision in our hearts. This is so good, so much value. Before I just take all the time, giving all the accolades that you both deserve. I mean, our session. Let's take Q&A now. Q&A. So let's do it this way. If you have any question, please raise your hands up, and I will call you, and then you can ask your questions. Or if you're not in a place where you can speak freely, okay, I already see someone's hands up. And if you're in a place where you can't speak freely, then you could type in the comment section. So Osarite, yes, you can speak. Kindly unmute yourself and speak, please.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good evening to the presenters. God bless you so much. I've learned a lot, and it has been really rewarding. And thank you to the organizers for this program. So, I just wanted to just ask: is it really by force to date? Because I have seen examples where people, they did introductions and they got married. Because this dating, I think it's like a problem to me. This is my own opinion. I'm just saying it. I don't know if I'm saying the wrong thing. I just want to just put it that, because there are some people that they will meet, okay, they will come together, just doing family, both families bring them together and they just get married. I've seen cases like that. So I just wanted to ask, is it by force to actually date? Is that really the formula for a successful marriage? Thank you.
So should we answer them one after the other?
Okay. If you okay, let me see. Okay, can everyone who has a question just like raise your hand, so I see the number of people who want to ask questions, and then we can decide on whether you can take it at once or we'll take it question by question. Okay, I think we just have 2 hands up willing to ask a question. Okay, so 2 other hands rather. Okay, let's hear the second. Or do you want to? How do you want to respond, sir? Do you want to respond to this first, or do you?
Okay, let us quickly respond to this one.
Okay.
Dating is not compulsory. It's not compulsory. But don't forget what we said. The aim of dating is getting to know the person. Basic. That's what it is. Now, if you remember, we went back to the Bible. That most cases in the Bible, it was a case of the parents, suggesting who their children should marry. You know, then but for Jacob was interested. He was already with Laban, so he knew both Rachel and Leah. He knew them very well. So we can say that during that time they actually dated. I will assume that they dated because he was with them. He knew them and had idea about them very well. So we can as well say that he dated them that time. If we are to go by this our definition of dating, which is getting to know the person, you understand? And his own this thing was very, very easy, direct. He was with them. So, and you are living with somebody, you already know everything about that person. Now, statistics are actually shown it that those who get married, like they have more successes. Those ones that maybe their father or their mother or their parents are the ones that introduced them to the person and then they got married. They've actually had the statistics actually show that they have a high rate of success compared to those ones who underwent the whole process by themselves, dating and then courting and all that.
Okay, so I'll just add a little bit to it. So the thing about dating for Christians, there is this overlap that I would want to call it between dating and courting, right? So say for example, you don't need to go through all this dating thing. You are sure of who this person is and you want to continue with this relationship. You are courting already. However, there are some times that you guys just want to hang out or you want to even see in church. You seeing after church service is a form of outing. In that sense, you are cutting, but you need to know each other, you need to see each other physically. So when you say that some people do not date, the dates in that word would be the outside world dates. So sometimes in the Christian world there is the overlapping or there is the interchangeable usage of word between dating and courting.
So just to buttress on what she just said. So dating is, oh, I didn't know this person before. Now I'm getting to know this person. To the point where the person now says, okay, I'm interested in you, I like you, I like to marry you. And at the point where you agree to going ahead with that person, courting starts. Then till the point you say I do, that's where marriage starts. So you see it now. That's dating, courting, and then marriage in itself. So it's not a bad thing if you decide not to date. It's not a bad thing. Maybe your parents had already said, "Oh, I know this person is my childhood, whatever." We had already betrothed you guys even before that time or whatever. It's not a bad thing. But at the end of the day, what is more important is get to know whoever you are getting married to very well and make sure that your values align. You know the person's goals and direction so that it doesn't become a problem in marriage. So over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you for answering that question. I think we'll take the questions in batches so that we can respond, and because of time, so that we were able to leave here in good time. But before I give the opportunity to Jumoke to speak, there's a question in the chat box. Someone Ayomide is asking that in your presentation you didn't cover the issue of genotype, and he or she considers this topic this topic very important, extremely important. So, do you? I mean, that means Ayomide is trying to say that on your first date, he or she thinks that asking questions around genotype, is he or she considers it very important. What are your thoughts about that?
Okay. In my opinion, I think it's actually important. Yeah, knowing the person's genotype so that you people don't even waste your time at all. Having an idea of what the genotype is very important. I remember a client, a premarital counseling client, that I had premarital counseling sessions with. I told them before our last session, before their wedding, I told them that I asked them if they have had, if they had checked their genotype. They said no. I said, what? You people, and you want to get married? I had to tell them that until they check that genotype, before they come for their final counseling session before the marriage, they have to. I have to know what it is, because that has caused a lot of problems in marriages. I know a particular person right now that she's a sickle cell patient, and the kind of money, she's a medical student too, but the kind of what do they call this thing, crisis that she has undergone, even as a medical student, is terrible. So we don't want to um, bring children in such atmospheres. So over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you very much for that. And just to add, like Christine Roberts is saying, medical history is important. Checks for HIV, hepatitis B status, before dating, important to know these things before you start to get emotionally involved, and then it becomes then difficult, and you try to now start to look for a scripture to fit the journey when God did not lead you in that relationship, in the first instance. So it's always good to. I mean, there are exceptions. I've seen people who both need their genotype, and by divine providence, both of them AS. None of their children are sickle cell. They have two children, but I mean, this doesn't play out in every relationship. So why test the waters? Why take a risk? So like what you just said, it's just good to know the medical history of the person, ahead of time. That would really help. Okay, let's take Jumoke Bada, please. Can you unmute yourself and speak, please? Thank you.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good
So
evening.
my question is, in a situation of a Christian singles, male and female, dating each other, and a scenario happened that the guy was drunk in a particular day, maybe say in the course of celebrating, and then he was drunk. I mean, a Christian brother drunk. And then the sister got to know and was like, a child of God, what is this? Like the person was drunk to the extent that he doesn't know what he is doing. Do you understand? A Christian brother now. Okay. And then as a sister, was very annoyed and was like, what is this? Do I even really know this person? And then after the drunkenness, and then the person is apologizing, and do that sister should the sister see it as a red flag? Like, okay, after the whole scenario, the brother apologized and said that this thing, no, it has happened before I got born again, and then it was due to excitement. It happens due to excitement, and I promise it's not going to happen again. So I want to ask, what advice do you give to the sister? Is it a red flag for the sister to back out of the relationship, or I don't know? You should know where I'm.
Okay, yes,
Okay.
yes, Jumoke, your question is understood. I believe Coach Muyiwa Oyinkansola also understand your
Yeah.
question.
Yes, I
They are trying to
um,
talk about red flags, and I think certainly they've covered that in their presentation about value alignment and all of that. But your question is noted, and I would like them to also note it. But I want us to take about 2 or 3 questions together so that we can save time. So, Shegun, please, can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Shegun, are you on this call? Are you still here? Okay, if Shegun is not here,
Yeah, that's me, right?
okay, Shegun is here. Shegun is here. Good. Shegun, yes, let's have your question, please.
Okay, yeah. Excuse me. So I'll try and see if I can put it in a summary.
Can you speak up a bit?
Yeah, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can, but we'll do better with a little more volume.
Okay, let me see. And then is it better?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So I've been listening from the very start of the session, and I I took note of certain things. And from my own background, I have a certain background where there are several beliefs and other things. For the story short, let me see how I think everyone's struggling to hear me. So.
Your voice is dropping again. Please, could you help us?
Exactly. Yeah. So can you? Is it better?
Yes, it is. It is much better now.
Okay. So it was the speaker. Yeah. So I'm from a certain background where we believe in so many other things, and I know that there has to be first spiritual and kind of alignment, then emotional alignment, and then you have physical alignment. Now, I let me not say I'm kind of struggling with that, but I'm trying to align my thoughts and understanding towards that. Taking examples from the scriptures where we can see that, for example, what's his name? Uh, Isaac, Jacob. Yes. Now Jacob served Laban for why is everything skipping my head right now?
7 years.
Isaac served Laban for 7 years, and
Then,
he was
yeah.
serving for Rebecca. Sorry, not Rebecca. Why is the name skipping my head?
Yeah, it
Rachel.
was Rebecca
Uh,
first, then yes.
Rachel.
okay,
Rachel.
for
Sorry,
Rachel, not
Rachel.
Rebecca. Rachel
Rachel,
was for
thank you.
Isaac. For
Yeah.
Rachel, so he served for Rachel and then for Leah. So I looked at it from this angle and I saw that okay, maybe not maybe he didn't want Leah at first, but he actually got Leah instead of Rachel at first, but he still got Rachel eventually. Now, was that physical? Was that spiritual? Was that emotional? I don't know. We don't know about that. Now, the point I'm going to is this. Earlier on during this session, you were saying, oh, before a lady asks, decides and says, oh, I'm going on a date, she needs to say, okay, should I go on a date with this person or not? Now, the same applies to a man. I would say for a man, you don't just want to speak to every woman and say, let's go on a date. It's a thing we do outside the church where people say, okay, we do this speed dating thing and you just go on dates and have dates and have conversations and all those things. But in the church, you also want to know, okay, am I making this choice? Is it because of my physical attraction, or is it because of my emotional attraction, or is it because of my spiritual attraction? What is it? What is it? Are we aligning on? So my question still lies in how do you decide that, okay, I'm going to make this choice to go with this person over this person over that person, or should I just, as they say, wing it?
Okay. I think in a nutshell, you're asking for the order of things in terms of who you should, I mean, how you consider who to go on a date with, in terms of alignment, whether it's the spiritual, whether it's the physical, whether it's the emotional. And I will just leave the coaches to answer that, although they already answered it towards the end of their presentation. But so can we take a third question and then we'll just batch all three together and respond because of our time? So let me take Blessed. Yeah, Blessed. I see your hands up as well. Blessed, please, let's add a third question and then we'll batch all three together. Blessed, please unmute yourself and speak. Okay, I will type. Okay, while Blessed is typing, Gbemisola, please, can you unmute yourself and
All
speak?
right. Good evening,
Thank
everyone. Can you hear me?
you. Yes, we
Yes.
can. Yes,
Okay.
we
My
can.
my my question is similar to what is it Benga or what's his name actually asked. Now, the real sense now, at what time can someone go on a date with someone? Take for instance, someone connected someone to someone. Let me put it that way. And it wasn't on the basis of relationship in the first place. It was on the basis of, let's say, work. And eventually, what happened was that maybe the guy saw the girl's pictures and eventually fall in love, let's say. But the after having communication with the lady, okay, fine, let's see how it goes. The lady said, okay, fine, let's see how it goes. But the only difference is that the guy always breached the gap of breach communication gap. Like let's say in the next 5 days, or let's say the next 1 week, he might not call. Next minute is calling. Oh, I would like us to see. Now, what should that kind of lady do in that kind of situation? So the lady has tried to
Okay.
raise it up. Okay, fine. Since you want us to see, why not you come down to this place? Initially, they plan to meet at a particular spot close to the guy's office. But the guy was just like, I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm that. So what should the lady do?
Okay,
Thank you.
your question is noted as well. So you are speaking about, it still ties to values. I mean, values and character. The guy, I mean, they were somebody brought both of them together, and then the guy seems to always, go absent after a while. Then he comes back again, but the lady doesn't. The lady is not comfortable with that arrangement of relationship. Okay, so what should she do? So the three questions, Coach Emma and O, if you remember, the first one was regarding the red flag. The guy drinking, the Christian brother drinking excessively. I mean, after celebrating, and the other one, Shagun is trying to find out about the order of things in terms of, what should he look out for, right? And the third, is on communication, right? Gimishola is concerned about the route in which the bobo is, communicating. So yes, please, you can answer all three together. Thank you.
Like what I mean is that the only time the guy communicates is when do we want to see? When do we want to
When he
see?
wants to see her, he
Yes, when
goes,
do
he
we want
goes,
to
I
see?
guess he
When
goes
can we
silent.
see? After that time, if you say, okay,
Exactly.
I'm not available, then the next time you'll be chatting is maybe the next 5 days or the next 6 days or 1 week. And the next statement again is when do we want to see?
When can we see? Fantastic. They understand it. All right. Let's hear from her.
Sorry. Let me just ask you a question based on that. Has the matter been brought up before to that person? Like, has the person be asked that question that, why are you always or only calling when you want us to see? Has that matter been brought up before? I just want to know.
Yes. The guy
Okay,
keeps
so what was the
claiming
person's
that
response?
he's kind of busy
Okay,
with work,
okay,
busy
okay,
with everything. He doesn't even have time
okay,
during weekend.
okay. All right, all right. So, sir, can I go ahead?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
All
Yes,
right, all
please.
right. Number one, drunkenness. uh, don't forget that the Bible says something. It said everything must be done in order, must be done in moderation. You see, that in itself is a flag. And that flag, somebody wrote that it's pepper red. I agree with that person. Because if you cannot control your emotions, because it's as good as you're flaring up too. If somebody has anger issues too, you will say the person is doing too much, and the person can misbehave. So the same thing is likened to, and I'm sure that that person will not like somebody that will always flare up, that one day you can just wake up and just flare up, and then you don't know what that flare up can lead to tomorrow. It could lead to slapping, or it could lead to anything. In the same case, if this person cannot handle and control his level of alcohol, it is a problem. That's the truth. It's a problem, because I hope you know that there's something we call addiction. What if is a case of addiction that the only part you are seeing now is when he's with you, and that happens. You don't know, maybe when he's alone, that actually also happens. It could be
Mm.
that you were just fortunate that day to have seen it happen. It could be a more frequent thing. There are some people that cannot just control some areas of their life. So, what I'll advise you, is let the person go and work on himself first. If the person is professing love and telling you that, oh, it's just a mistake. In fact, this same question you asked, I had a client just this same week. One of those clients I dealt with this week, she talked about this drunkenness thing too. And she said that was one of the reasons why she left her ex, because of that the guy was good and all that and all that. And it was this same drunkenness thing that made her leave. Because when he sees alcohol like this, everything about him just changes. So if you cannot handle that now, because whatever happens in this dating phase is only a preparatory phase to what's going to happen in marriage. It's not going to get any better. So that's that for that. Then question two, the order of importance I said before that the order of importance still remains spiritual, emotional, and physical. You see, physical, a lot of guys make this mistake of paying attention to physical only. Now, don't get it wrong. We are not saying that physical is not important. That's not what we are saying. But we are saying that first of all, before you even consider physical, start from that spirituality. Because I'm sure that some of you have heard this word that the spiritual controls the physical. Do you know that? I remember there was a time that somebody said that somebody I just remember this case now. A particular guy, he said the only reason why he didn't ask a particular girl out was because she didn't have breast. Like she didn't have full breast. Like her breast was small. And I'm like, for real? As in, this girl ticked everything in his box. And the only reason why he didn't go for that person is because of breast. Do you know so a scenario came that the lady now asked him because she noticed that he was interested in her, but he never asked her out. He now asked her that question sometime later that how come you never asked me out? He now opened up to her that it was because of her breast. She said, can you imagine? Why didn't you tell me about this? At some point in my life, I didn't have hair. Like my hair were chopping off, and I prayed to God, and the Lord refilled my hair back, and now I have full hair. The same God, I can go back to him, and he will increase this my breast. So now that's to tell you that I just gave that as an example that the spiritual controls the physical. What's the beauty? Have you guys not seen guys that are very intelligent and are very handsome, that are very mad, like they are crazy beings? Like they are crazy beings. They are fine, oh, they have money, oh, they have emotional intelligence and whatever. But when that spirit of anger or spirit of whatever comes into their head like this, they behave irrationally. At that point, you will wish that you never went for that person, despite the fact that that person is mentally and emotionally fine and also physically fine. So it's very important that you pay more attention to the spiritual, because you can control a lot of things from that spiritual angle. And under the spiritual, we talked about faith, alignment in faith, alignment in beliefs. See, all these things, you can't joke with them. You cannot. What's the essence of marrying a guy and the guy tells you that, guy, you cannot go to church again, forget it? And that's the end. Even your pastor said will tell you to stay at home because he's the head of the home. So we're just saying that to make you guys understand that the spiritual still remains superior to emotional than over the physical. Now, the last question, the guy that goes MIA and just comes anytime he likes. Let me just put this out there. No guy is too busy. No guy is too busy for what he really likes or he really wants. Any guy that claims that he's too busy and just looks for you when he wants, my sister, carry your slippers and move to the next station. So that would be my counsel to you, that please free the guy until you see sign of seriousness. Because if he's doing that now, my sister, in marriage, you'll be the one pushing that marriage. Because he will just tell you that today he doesn't feel like this and that and all. So
then, just to add to that, sometimes these people's definition or opinion about marriage too could be a factor to which they behave. So some people don't see marriage as a union of two people, that are becoming one. Some people see marriage with the traditional mindset that they are acquiring. Yes, they are acquiring a woman, and they are acquiring a woman to, be a wife and give them children, and that's our role. So it means that when I'm ready for you to become wife, you become wife. When I'm ready for you to become a mother, you give me children, you give me food, I go to work, you give me, I give you money, and it just continues like that. So there's some kind of men that they think that way.
The question now is that the kind of man you want?
Is that the kind of marriage you want? When when I was still even in secondary school, before I even got into the university, I usually pray to God that, God, I want a friendship marriage, a kind of marriage where I can be friends with my husband, not the traditional daddy and mommy husband. Okay, this is your food, eat, welcome, go to sleep, have children. No. So there are some people that is what is in their head, and you cannot behave more than you know. So if you've tried talking to this guy about it and it feels like he's busy, let me give you one more step to help him, get more knowledge and understand what this marriage thing is all about, and bring him out of that. But if after all these things it still does
Still
not
remains the
come
same.
up, it still remains the same, I don't think it's worth your time and what any of the energy you want to
Yeah,
put
and,
into
and
it.
what she just said now just made me remember this statement. You actually treat a guy, as in you teach a guy how to treat you. It's possible that this guy does not know more than how he's doing right now. So that, which was one of the reasons why I asked the question I asked before, that did you raise this matter with him? So you need to get to that place where, if you still want this guy, you need to make it clear to him that he cannot treat you that way. If he's ready to change, then you can consider. But if he's not ready to change, then move on. I rest my case, sir.
Okay, thank you so very much. We are out of time, but I will just take these last two questions together, and any subsequent question we can tackle it in the WhatsApp group. And please, for those who want to join, our community, the WhatsApp link will be shared in the WhatsApp, in the comment section soon. Please, Chika, Precious, anyone of you who are here, please just help me post the WhatsApp link for people who want to join our community. And I really encourage you to be a part of the community. We can continue the conversations in the community for those who have further questions. But let me just take this last two questions. The one from Blessing. Blessing is asking. So our question is there anything like online dating, especially for those who live in different cities and can't find time to meet up for a physical meeting or a date? So she's concerned about being in different cities and she wants to know the possibility of exploring online dating to meet people, I mean, irrespective of the physical location. So that's our first question. And so that's our question. Then the other question is from Austin. So Ike Austin is asking, how do you handle a guy who came with a main aim to marry you, but 5 years down the line, every plan to marry never happens, or I mean never happened. You have attempted to leave several times, but he keeps begging. It now seems as if you are begging for the marriage or the wedding to happen. So a lady is in a situation where a guy came with an intention to marry, but 5 years down the line, the marriage has not happened. Now, and you've tried to leave the relationship, but the guy keeps begging you to stay, right? So now it looks like you're the one begging that, okay, it looks like for the person, maybe the person is thinking time has passed, and now the person is saying, oh, I've given you 5 years of my life, please come and marry me. What do you advise that lady to do in this situation? So yeah, those are the two questions, final questions.
Okay, thank you so much. Number one, is there online dating? Oh yes, there's online dating. Um, we've seen scenarios of marriages that actually happened, from meeting online. I personally know about three different couples, that actually met online. I know two that met on Facebook. I know another one that met on WhatsApp, you know, and it actually led to marriage at the end of the day. So if you are in different cities and you're a very busy person, I said something the last just with them, Mr. and Mrs. Shoname too. The last IG live we had last month, I made a statement towards the end that, do you know that online is the new main line? So if you're saying that you can't find somebody physically per se now, you're finding it hard, maybe because of your work or your location or whatever, there are people who meet online. So one of the things you can do is be active on pages. The kind of pages that you like to be. be active on those pages. So if for instance now you like relationship pages, be active on those pages, make comments when they have events, attend their online events, IG lives and webinars, things like that. Always show up and give sensible, like very intelligent comments. Someday somebody will see your comment and be like, in fact, somebody can be trailing you from there. I've seen instances of such that they will tracing you from there, that who is this girl that is always making this comment that used to make sense. One day the person can just DM you, and from there you will start a conversation, and it could lead anywhere. So never say never. So online dating, oh yes, there is, and you can meet a true believer. So don't mind those people that say those people that are online as scam. In fact, Moses Bliss met online, met his wife online. Yes, she made a comment. I think she danced to his song, and that's how they met. And see them now, they are married now, and they are from two different countries. So Moses Bliss is a very clear and vivid example, and there are other examples like that. So it is another option that you can take. And don't forget what we said, that during dating, make sure you pray about it. So as the thing, if it looks as if he's making progress, pray about it, and also seek counsel to be sure that you're taking the right steps. Then question 2, auntie, sorry to tell you that he has been wasting your time. Now, I'm interested in finding out, what did he say is the reason for his delay? I'm interested in that question. What did he say is the reason for that delay? If somebody has been wasting your time for the past 5 years and you're trying to opt out, and he's begging you for what exactly? I need to understand why exactly he's begging you, and what is he saying is the reason for his delay, because 5 years is not a joke. Just as I said before, one of the clients I had just this week too, that one was 4 years. She's at the edge of saying, so she said the guy does something that they fight a lot and all that she wants to leave, but she's finding it difficult to leave. And that's one of the things that happens to ladies a lot of times. Once they have put emotions on one person for a long time, there's always that emotional attachment that makes it difficult for them to leave. Their spirit man is telling them to leave, but once the guy comes beg and just beg, and the funniest thing is that this guy will keep begging because he knows that you will agree to come back. So I think you need to get to that point where you take the bull by the horn and take a firm decision, such that by the time you make a decision to now leave and you finally leave, if he comes back again, you will put it's like you're having you will put conditions down. You will put conditions down to coming back. So you won't just say because he begged you, that's why he came back. No, this time there has to be condition. And once it doesn't meet the condition, forget about it. Move on with your life, because those people are time wasters. We have heard. I remember Pastor K. He talked about a person that he knows dated somebody for 10 years. Dated the same person, dated another person for another 10 years, and he didn't marry any of the two of them. So you can imagine. So they are time wasters. Oh, I'm telling you, they are time wasters. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Sorry, we can't take more questions. We can answer the questions in the WhatsApp community. Please, can we just give another round of applause to our speakers for just pouring out their hearts, giving us their time, giving us their energy, giving us everything. This has been so much value for our time. Let me just apologize that we have extended our time by a couple of minutes. So we apologize for that, and I really do apologize. This is, if you are new here, this is the Singles Fellowship of the Covenant Nation, Igomu Campus. And yes, Igomu Campus is just next to the National Arts Theatre, and we are the Singles Fellowship. So if you want to be a part of us, the WhatsApp link is in the comment section. Please, you can click on it, and please look out for our monthly learning session. We'll have another one next month, September. It usually happens the last Friday of the month. So in September we would have another learning session, and also please look out for our fitness hangout in October, and then our year-end party hangout in November. So we have quite a number of meetings for you guys, and it'll be very, very beautiful for you to be a part of us. We are just here to, build ourselves up, raise Christians who have a vision for life, a vision, to shine the light so bright. Isaiah 60 verse 1 to 2 is our motto, where we speak about us being the light bearers, even in a dark and perverse generation. So that's. I mean, Mr. Muyiwa and Oyin, you can exit if you so choose. So you can exit. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Good night, everyone. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great night.
I love to David. Thank you so very much. Please, we'll keep in touch. Thank you so very much. And we would also share your I mean, if you want to get their book, we'll share the link to getting their materials and their YouTube channel and every other thing. You can also glean and get great resources from them. Okay, I saw one or two hands go up again, but I think we are pressed for time. Those of us that are in Igomo know that something is happening this evening again. So there's a vigil happening in church, so it won't be nice to keep people here any longer. So from us, before I sign out, does anyone just want to pass a comment on just one thing that they've learned, one thing that they hope to do differently now, even as they go on to proceed in dating, or just basically one thing that has been a mindset shift for them, one thing that has benefited you in just one thing that you have gained from this session. It would just be good to get one or two people to give their feedback, even as we just wrap it up. Anyone quickly who wants to just give their feedback? Anyone? Okay. Let me check the chat box. Okay, no one in the chat box. No one wants to speak. Okay, so thank you very much. I think we can call it a wrap. Thank you so very much. God bless you. Till we meet again, let's continue to question in the chat box. Let's continue being singles who are single-minded, who are going to live for Christ. God bless you. I remain your humble host, Gemi Gashriname. My wife and I lead the community, and please, we hope to meet you soon physically. All right. Have a good night. Rest, everyone. Yes, a wrap
Thank
from
you.
us.
Good
All right.
night. Bye.
Thank you, Osam. Thank you, Shegun.
Yeah.
Thank you, Abraham. Thank you, Olariwaju. Thank you all. God bless you. Yes, there's video today. There's video today. So please, let's not forget that if you're able to make it to church physically, please be there. I don't know if it will be streamed online, but if you can make it to church physically, please be there for the video. Yes, the link is in the chat box. Yes, you can be added to the group. The link is in the chat box. Let me see. I can paste the link again. Someone just joined. We're ready. We've brought the meeting to an end. Faith. The recording will be available as well. Let me also mention the recording will be available. We'll share the recording in the community, in our WhatsApp group. The link to the recorded version will be available for you to watch over and over again. Thank you, Ademola. I see you. Thank you, Oluchi. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Everest Joy, Abraham Charles, everyone. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Toby. Thank you. Anita. Yes. Thank you, Demola, for your kind comments. God bless you too.